Hello there, good people. How's it going? Welcome to my channel. My name is Marco, and today I am at episode number 7 in this Python Projects for Beginners series, which is somewhat of a mysterious project, and I'll tell you why. So the mini project I'm going to build today is an email slicer. Just as a quick reminder, all these projects are taken from the 42 Python project article. You can visit the link in the description. According to the article, an email slicer should extract from an email address the name and the domain of that address. The domain is the thing that comes after the at gmail.com, at yahoo.com, etc. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not a very compelling project, and you'll see why. However, I found this project in particular one of those projects where your imagination and the creative input are fundamental to turn a non-interesting, non-compelling project into a useful and powerful script. So let's set up the project. First of all, the actual script is not very complicated at all. We can use a simple regular expression to split the email address. I use a regular expression because I like it. And then just return the result. So the first part would be the name and the second part would be the domain. Let's see. Now, as you can see, it's working, so in theory, mission accomplished. I mean, the project is done. There's so much more that I can put into this to make it, let's say, a bit more useful, to serve a purpose. Let's say automation, why not? I want to automate something that will require an eternity to do it manually. It will be immensely boring and probably makes you want to kill yourself. Let's imagine that you're at work and your horrible boss gives you the most dreadful and dull task of all. You have an entire text file of all the emails that the company has ever received. Something that looks like this. This is just a snippet of some emails your company has. However, it has more than 130,000 lines that you have to go through in order to find this email address. They're all in there. You just need to look for them carefully, very carefully. Your job is to read through this never-ending pamphlet and create something like a mailing list for the company. So all the email addresses need to be recorded and saved with a name and an email address, let's say. Now, if you ask me, this looks like the perfect job for a Python script. It reads through the text, get the email address, slice the email, and then go to a database and save the name and the address. And ta-da! You've cleared a month worth of tedious, monotonous work, and you probably saved yourself a pretty bad headache. How do I want to do this? I want to use a class so that I can store the sender more easily. All the information will be in the user or sender object that I'm going to create, so there will be no need to look elsewhere, adding unnecessary logic. The class will just take the email as an argument. Then, thanks to my email slicer, I will basically have everything I need. Let's try. I have used these property decorators so that I can access these attributes as attributes and not as methods. Small sidetrack. Decorator in Python is something to add features or actions to a function. In more technical terms, is a function that takes a function as one of its arguments and it returns this function. There is plenty of decorators in Python and I encourage you to look them up because they really increase and improve the quality and the level of your script. You can have a look at the documentation. Okay, let's go on. Now I have to think about the main logic. So opening the text file, reading it, find what I'm looking for, and then save it to the database. I want this script to be reusable, so I will ask for a user input for the file to be opened. And it's very important that the file is .txt file. I'll need to provide some simple checks for the input. So the first block is dedicated exclusively to handle the user input and the opening of the file. Now I need to do a few things more. I need to create a connection to the database. I still haven't created the table, but since it's a one-time thing, I'm just gonna put it outside the function. Then I have to find all the email addresses I need. Last, I have to save them into the database. Of course, there are smaller steps in between I need to take care of. First of all, the findAll method returns a list, but I want a set, which is similar. It's still an iterable object, but it contains only unique values. And this is what I want, because there could be multiple emails sent by the same person, and I don't want to record them more than once. On the same line, I need to do another check in the for loop. This loop is very simple. It creates a user object for every iteration. The information I want are put in a tuple, and that tuple gets pushed or appended to the batch list. This makes the logic easier to save them to the database using the execute many method. I still need to check whether the user is already saved into the database, because the set makes an iterable of unique elements, but I could be using this script several times with different text files, and then the set object won't be able to select unique values from the database. Easy fix. Before pushing the record, I search for it in the database with the select statement. If the return value is none, it means that no record was found for that user. Hence, it is a new user. I can go on and edit. Last but not least, check whether the batch is empty before using SQL, because it might create some errors. The logic here is extremely straightforward. If the batch is empty, all the records the script found in the text file are already saved in the database. Finally, I have to do the most important thing of all. Well, maybe not the most important, but it's definitely important. I need to create the table. Now I'll do that and then just run it once and then comment it out, because I just need to create it once. So I can run a test and see if the script works correctly. Perfect, everything is set up. Let's run it. As for a file, I'm gonna give it the mbox. And it says done. It says done. Did it really work? Let's find out. When using SQL, you can check or interact with the database in several ways. You can either use the command line, which is totally fine, or you could download software that creates a visually pleasing representation of your database, which is more understandable, showing you data, types, etc. For this example in particular, I'm going to use the DB browser for SQLite. You can find a link in the description if you want to download it. As you can see, I am in the database and I have a users table. I want to see what's in that table. And here we have it. This is the mailing list of 46 original, meaning unique, senders that my boss asked for. Instead of 1 month, I did it in 15 minutes, and I can do it iteratively, all the time in half a second. This is the power of code. Alright, I'd say it's all for now. As you can see, it is totally possible to take a not so interesting, not so difficult project and turn it into something into a more compelling and definitely more useful script. In this regard, I'd be very interested in what is your opinion about that. How would you have implemented this? What did you want to add, etc. Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy the content, please leave a like so that more people can see it. And don't forget to subscribe so that this channel can go to the moon. Yeah, I stole that one. Now it's all. I'll see you to the next video. Stay tuned for more. Bye bye.